We have YBC Property versus Joel Travolto 24-06186. Appearance for the record.
Good afternoon, Roger Smith, appearing on behalf of YBC Properties.
Okay, today was a date set for a hearing and no one's appeared on behalf of Travolto. You want to default to enter?
I do, Your Honor. Terms on the record, if you don't mind. For the possession judgment, the rent to retain possession is $4,836.98. Other money due is $1,110.43. Costs $240.41 for a total of $6,187.82. For the money judgment, damages would equal $5,381.28. Costs again are $240.41 with a total of $5,621.28.
Justin, to enter, you have the report completed. Any additional matters for today's record?
No, Your Honor.
We'll get your copy. You're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
On the record, in the matter of LG Lansing LLC versus Essence Tanner 24-06190.
Good afternoon, Mayor. Victoria Adams for the Tenant, LG Lansing LLC.
Appeared for Essence Tanner. Okay, my understanding is that there was some resolution being worked on. Is that not accurate?
No, I have not been able to make contact with the tenant at all.
Default to enter.
Yep, I do have a default for possession and a money judgment. The possession judgment rent to retain possession for the month of November is $7,671. Court costs and fees in the amount of $278.91. which totals $7,949.91. Have a writ date of 12/16/24, and the money judgment rent through today is $6,851.13. Court costs and fees in the amount of $278.91, which totals $7,130.04. I also have an appeal date of 12/16/24.
Thank you.
May I have one?
Any additional matters for today's record?
No.
We'll get your copy.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Same to you. On the record, in the matter of SK Lansing Limited versus Mariamu Ramazani 24-06245.
They're out in hallway talking.
Okay, so they need to be here now. I'll wait.
Okay. They're completing the city work sections on our way in.
Mr. Woody, are you ready?
We are.
On the record, in the matter of Fox Land Holdings LLC versus Miracle Jones 24-06559, council appearance.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Norman Wood, attorney on behalf of the landlord, Foxland Holdings LLC.
Your name, ma'am? Ms. Jones, today was the date set for hearing for non-payment of rent. Mr. Woody, this is the resolution.
I'm pleased to report the parties have agreed to a conditional dismissal in this case, in terms of which are as follows. There's currently rent to retain owing in the amount of $1,705.34 through the end of December. Court costs are $159.86 for a total of $1,865.20 to be paid by December 18th. We discussed that partial payment wouldn't prevent issuance of an order of eviction, that if the amount wasn't paid in full by the 18th, we would have the right to come back and ask Your Honor to enter an order of eviction and adjustment without further notice for hearing. We discussed Ms. Jones' rights under MCR 4.201J, after which she signed the conditional dismissal, if I may approach.
Thank you. Ma'am, that's how you want to proceed? Okay, now so you understand that you have the right in this matter to proceed to a trial. You could have demanded a jury trial. You understand that? You also have the right to be represented by an attorney in this matter. You understand that? You wish to give up both of those rights in order to have conditional dismissal entered today? Okay, so you want the matter dismissed today upon the condition that you agree to pay the past due rent amount of 1705.34 plus court costs $159.86, total due $1,865.20. That's for rent due for the period of December 31st, correct? And you'll pay that or vacate no later than December 18th. I understand partial performance won't satisfy this. You got to pay that amount in full by the date of December 18th. Otherwise, they can enter judgment against you without any further or notice of a court date. You understand that? You have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood those rights, you can return to the court and request to have this agreement set aside, and we'll set up a hearing, okay? We'll get you a copy of that in just a moment. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank
Thank you. You're all set.
you. Thank you.
We see Mr. Dua today. So are you waiting for a court date?
The attorney for my
Who's my question? What did I ask you? I said, are you waiting for a court date?
yeah,
What's your name?
Dawson County.
What's your last name again?
White Compton.
The attorney called me to the hall.
Yeah, he just told me to come back in here.
Mr. Dua's here.
Yes.
Remove your hat. On the record in the matter of Carolina Flats versus Latasha Mason, 24-06248. Appearance, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Sam Dua here on behalf of plaintiff.
Okay, ma'am, state your name. Latasha Mason. Okay, Ms. Mason, stated the date and the time that was scheduled for a hearing. This is for non-payment of rent. Did you guys come to resolution?
We did, Your Honor. I have in front of me a proposed consent order for conditional dismissal signed by both parties. 2A rent is $5,714.17. 2B court costs $178.05. Total in 2D $5,892.22. To be paid, or the defendant is to vacate on or before December 16th, 2024. And this is for a rental period ending through the end of the calendar year, 12/31/24. 4B is marked and box 7 is marked. May I approach?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Mason, that's how you want to proceed?
Yes.
Okay, so you understand that you had the right to be represented by an attorney today?
Yes.
You want to waive that right?
Yes.
You also have the right to proceed to trial. You could have demanded a jury trial in this matter. You understand that?
Yes.
You want to waive your right to trial?
Yes.
Anybody threatening you to waive these rights?
No.
You want the matter dismissed today upon the condition that you agree to pay past due rent in total, including court costs, $5,892.22. That's for rent due through the period of December 31st, 2024, correct?
Yes.
And that you will pay that or vacate the premises no later than December 16th, 2024, correct?
Yes.
And partial performance will not satisfy this, so that means you need to pay the full amount on or before the 16th, or you gotta vacate on or before. Otherwise, the plaintiff has the right to have judgment issued against you without any further notice to you about a court date. You understand that?
Yes.
You have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood those rights, you can return to the court, request to have this set aside, and we'll set it for hearing, okay?
Yes.
Do you have any questions? Any additional matters for the record on this file?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
You're all set, ma'am. Thank you. On the record in the matter of Jolly Flats versus Dawson White Thompson, 24-06249.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sam Dua here on behalf of plaintiff.
Your name, sir?
Johnson, Jean White Thompson.
Okay, today was the date scheduled for hearing. This is for non-payment of rent. Do the parties come to resolve this matter?
Yes, Your Honor. Once again, we have a consent order for conditional dismissal signed by both parties for your review. Box 2A rent, $1,968. 2B court costs, $178.05. 2D total, $2,146.05. To be paid on or before December 16th, 2024. And it is for the rental period through December 31st, 2024. 4B is marked and 7 is marked. May I approach?
Yes. That's how you want to proceed, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you do understand, sir, that you did have the right to have an attorney represent you today?
Yes, sir.
You want to give that right up?
Yes.
You also have the right to proceed to trial in this matter. You could have demanded a jury trial. Did you want to waive your right to a trial in this matter to proceed in this fashion?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're agreeing to have the matter dismissed today upon the condition that you pay the past due amount plus court costs for a total due of $2,146.05.
Yes, Your Honor.
That you'll pay that on or before December 16th, 2024, or you'll vacate on or before December 16th, 2024, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's for rent due and owing through the period of the end of this month, December 31st, 2024.
Yes, sir.
Partial performance will not satisfy this, so that means you have to pay this amount in full on the date that you say you'll pay it. Otherwise, they can have an order of eviction entered against you without noticing you of any other court date. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood the rights you've given up, you can return to the court, request to have that set aside, and explain to us how you misunderstood your rights. Do you have any questions? Any additional matters on that file, Mr. Dua?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll get you a copy in just a moment.
Thank you.
On the record in the matter of SK Lansing Limited versus Mariamu Ramazani, 24-06245.
First woman on behalf of the plaintiff.
Your name, please.
Mariana.
Okay, today was the date set for a hearing. This is for non-payment of rent. Do the parties resolve this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, I have a consent order for conditional dismissal that's been signed by both parties. Rent through December 31st, 2024 is $6,833. There's court costs of $177.04 for a total outstanding balance of $7,010.04. The defendant is to pay $1,168.34 on or before December 15th, 2024, January 15th, 2025, February 15th, 2025, March 15th, 2025, April 15th, 2025, and May 15th, 2025. Defendant is to pay the monthly rent on or before the 5th of each month. Rent is currently $814 per month. And then the defendant is to turn in recertification paperwork by 12/18/24. 4B is checked and 7 is checked.
That's correct. As to how you want to proceed, ma'am? Okay. You understand that you did have the right to be represented by an attorney today?
Yes.
You want to waive that right? You also have the right to proceed to trial, or you could have demanded a jury trial. That's also a right that you want to give up today?
Yes.
Okay, anybody threatening you to give these rights up?
No.
Okay, so you want conditional dismissal today with the understanding that you'll pay past due rent $6,833 plus court costs of $177.04. That's for a grand total, $7,010.04. And for that's for rent due to a period of December 31st, 2024, correct? And that further conditions are that you'll pay $1,168.34 on or before the following dates. That's December 15th of this year, January 15th, 2025, February 15th, 2025, March 15th, 2025, April 15th, 2025, and then May 15th, 2025, correct? Says defendant to pay the monthly rent on or before the 5th of each month. And that's currently an amount of $814 per month, correct?
Yeah.
And that you will also turn in your recertification paperwork by the date of December 18th, 2024.
Yeah.
Okay, so partial performance will not satisfy this agreement. So there's a lot going on here. If you don't do any one of those things, that will be a lack of full performance. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And if you don't perform fully, as you say you would do here in the further order here, what the plaintiff can do is request judgment to enter against you, and they could have you evicted without giving you any other court date. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. You have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood the rights that you've given up, you can return to the court and request to have this agreement set aside, okay? Do you have any questions for the court today? Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll get you a copy in just a moment.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did we see Mr. Archimedes today? Else is he was, I mean, legal services. Oh, for the- This is the matter of William Poe versus Letitia Jackson, 24-06-272.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Norman Whitty appearing on behalf of the plaintiff, William Hogue.
Letitia Jackson here?
No.
Okay,
Your Honor, I've also called for her in the hallway.
okay. Oh, can enter.
Thank you. Are you going to put terms on the record or should I just? I'm happy to just give it to you. I trust you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Need a copy?
Yeah, I think there should be one there for that.
Oh,
Right.
it's a certificate, yeah. Just staple. Mr. Whitty, you had another one?
Simply live, Your Honor, 06271.
You can be seated.
Well, Brittany said about that, Edward Payne, she didn't get a chance to write him over it for Livingston County. So she was asking for it to be reset.
The clerk's office asked us to reset that one because she didn't have a chance to rid him from jail.
Edward
Oh, Mr. Payne's in jail.
Yes,
Okay, I was not aware.
so we gotta reset that.
All right.
December 18th is the new day
December 18th
at 1:30.
at 1:30.
Thank you.
No problem. On the record in the matter of DWL Indus Realty versus Sharika Magruder, 24-06597. Appearance, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Dr. Nikki, thank you for the plaintiff.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Angela Trippi, TRIPI, P80120, representing Ms. Magruder, who's currently standing to my right.
See, this is the date that is scheduled. This is for a hearing for non-payment of rent. Did the parties come to resolution at all?
Your Honor, I've had the chance to speak with Mr. Akanicki, and he's agreed to a 30-day adjournment in this matter for further payment history issues to be resolved. Thank you.
January 8th at 2:30.
January 8th at 2:30.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
No problem. We'll get you notice to appear. Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Thank you. You ready for court date?
I got a 245. And it seems Torrance.
You're here for Piper?
I am, yes, ma'am.
Okay, Capital Manor versus Torrance Dumas, 24-06293. You transfer the record?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Connor Flurry, P84485. Here on behalf of the plaintiff standing in for Piper Legal this afternoon.
Patrick signing.
So it's here for- it says Burge, so that's the 15. I don't know.
You just joined from Samsung.
Yes,
Who just joined from Samsung?
whoops. Yes,
Did you hear my question, ma'am?
I did.
What was it?
Did I just join from a Samsung?
No, I said who just joined
Oh.
from Samsung?
Right, it cut out a little bit. Patricia Aldrich and, Paul Cannon.
Okay, why, I don't understand why you're here via Zoom. This is
I've been
in-person-
sick.
These are in-person proceedings.
I've been sick. Aaron O'Brien is on his way there. I have seizures, so Cole's here with me at the house to make sure nothing happens. I've been running fevers on and off.
Okay, Patrick Simons?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hey, you're here on that matter, you're here on another matter. Why are you here via Zoom?
Don wanted me to further my professional development and watch. I'm here for the land contract forfeiture hearing for Nicolopolis.
Okay, so you're
At
not
3:15.
handling the matter, you're just gonna be viewing the matter, is that what you're saying?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, it is.
Oh, okay, sounds good, thank you. Okay, let's see, well, I wanted to make sure that that wasn't Mr. Dumas. Mr. Dumas is fair to appear, how do you want to proceed?
Your Honor, at this time, I request a default judgment for possession only. I have prepared a proposed judgment for your signature. If you would allow me to
Yes.
approach the bench.
Yes, please.
Very now, thank you.
Okay, where's my- What's the right date?
December the 14th, 2020. Oh, I'm sorry, thank you.
Yeah, 14th, thank you. Get your copy, just a moment, thank you.
Your Honor.
You can remove your hat, please.
Yes.
What do we have there? Are you still waiting for something, sir?
Oh, just a copy of the judgment, Your Honor.
That's right here.
Sorry.
On the record, in the matter of George Nicolopoulos versus Amber Bursley, 24-06941. Here's for the record, please.
Your Honor, Don Bertrand on behalf of the plaintiff George Nicolopoulos, who is going to be seated to my left.
Your name, ma'am?
Amber Bursley.
Okay. And you're without counsel today, correct? Yep. Okay. You can speak. The date that was set for hearing, this is for land contract forfeiture. The parties were not able to come to a resolution. You can present your case.
Your Honor, at this time, Your Honor, I'm going to call my client, George, to the stand. Did you want him on the stand or testify from here, Your
You
Honor?
can come to the stand so we can hear him better. You raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
You can have a seat.
George, please state your name for the record and your full name.
George John Nicolopoulos.
And George, how do you know the defendant Amber Bursley?
She was introduced to me through Stacy Hall.
And did you and her, Amber Bursley, enter into a land contract?
Yes,
Okay, and when was that dated?
that was dated in April of this year.
And what were the premises? What was it for, the premises?
The basic premise was that she and Butch would clean up the house, get it up to code, and then they would be able to buy the house.
Let me first ask you though, what the house, where was it located at?
1225 Regent Street in Lansing.
And that's in Ingham County, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so you entered into a land contract with Amber. What was the purchase price?
$75,000.
And what were the monthly payments going to be?
The monthly payments were going to be $650 a month plus the property tax.
Give me just one moment.
They can resolve it, that's fine, it's not, she can involve, go to here. So you can let her know.
You can proceed. You can proceed.
Your Honor, at this time, I was going to mark this as an exhibit, so you can look at it. George, at this time, I'm going to show you what has been marked as plaintiff's exhibit 1. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, sir. It's a
And-
copy of the land contract.
And you said it's dated when?
April 1st.
And is it signed?
Yes,
Okay, and who signed it?
myself and Ms. Berkeley.
This land contract has everything. I'm sorry. Ms. Bursley, here's a copy of the land contract. And that land contract is everything, correct? The 4 pages?
Yes,
This time, Your Honor, I move to put exhibit 1 into evidence.
Do you have an objection to exhibit 1?
Can I compare it right quick? to
Yep,
what
take
I
your time.
actually signed? Did I show you this, Sean?
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting for her to tell me if there's an objection.
I believe it's the same one.
Okay, so no objection, plaintiff's one is admitted. Thank you.
Also, here's a copy of the land.
Wait, no, it is not the same.
What do you believe is different? Take your time to look over it, then.
It's just blurred. It's the same.
Okay, sounds good.
For Nicolopoulos, I'm just gonna hand you also just a copy of that, if you have to reference it. Now, what were the monthly payments gonna be?
$650 a month,
And when were those payments gonna start?
August 1st.
Why were they gonna start August 1st of 2024 when this contract is dated April 1st?
That would give them time to clean out the house and get all the fixings that needed to be done to get the red flag off.
Object to that. Or do I have to wait?
What's the basis of your objection? You can object if you have.
Because we were hired in March to clean it. When I signed this land
Okay,
contract.
so that's not an objection. That just means you disagree with what he's saying. That's not an objection. So objection would be like hearsay or like facts not in evidence or something like that. It's an evidentiary rule that you would say he's violating. If you just disagree with what he's saying, you write that down so that when it's your turn to give testimony, you can clear it up, okay? You need a pen?
Thank you. So now, George, this house was red tagged, you said, correct?
Yes, sir.
When was it first put into red tag status?
September, October
Of what year?
of 2024.
Or you mean 23?
Yes. 23.
Because the house was put on red tag status before you and Amber entered the land contract.
That is correct.
Did Miss Bursley know that the house was red tagged?
Yes.
And how does she know that?
There's a big red tag on the front door.
So let me just get clear. So you said you and her discussed about fixing the red tag issues.
Yes.
Can you tell me what some of those issues were?
Drywall had to be replaced, GFCI had to be replaced in the bathroom because it wasn't working. Some minor woodwork, drywall work.
And so, and you and Amber agreed that Amber within those 4 months would fix those red tag issues, correct?
Well, not Amber personally, but Butch or her boyfriend would fix that. He's technically disabled. Not doing work.
And Butch was also living with Amber,
Yes.
but Butch was not, he did not sign this contract.
No.
And so during those 4 months, were the repairs made on the red tag?
The garbage that was in the house was removed. So anything that was not usable was put in a trailer that I took to the Ranger dump stations and dump. So I get up once a week or every 2 weeks and I run all the garbage out.
So then the land contract states that the first payment shall be August 5th of $650. And did she make that payment?
No,
Did she make the September 5th payment?
no,
Did she make the October 5th payment?
no,
Did she make the November 5th also 2024 payment
No,
and the December 5th payment.
no,
So 650 times 5 is about 3,250.
yes,
And you had me send her a full forfeiture notice saying she did not make the August and September rent. Is that
right,
correct?
that is correct.
Did she ever state the reason why she didn't make those payments?
I'm sure she did, but I don't remember the exact statement she made.
And you chose in this land contract not to mention anything that's about the red tag doing the repairs.
Right, yes, that is correct.
And to your knowledge, a land contract can be entered into with a house that is red tag.
To my knowledge, yes.
Now, was the Amber, well, red tag? Can one live in the red tag house?
No,
Or is there certain hours that one can live?
9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
And to your knowledge, did she stay beyond, did she try to live in the house?
Yes,
Did you ever have to call the police?
yes,
And what did you tell the police?
but there were people living in the house after hours.
Now, also too, on the last page, I know you put in handwritten, will fix roof for purchaser.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and what did you do that?
Yes, I did.
And what month did you do that?
We did it in April.
April 2024?
Yes,
And how did you fix the roof?
I hired a contractor to get up on the roof and replace the tiles that were defective.
When did you do this again?
April
2024.
2024.
Before or after this land contract?
Before,
Okay,
just before the time the paperwork.
okay, sounds good.
And how much did you pay the contractor?
It was $800 total. It cost me between the tiles and the fee that we charged me.
So you're asking for possession back of the premises, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. 1 second. I have one more exhibit. Exhibit 2, I'm gonna give a copy to the defendant. Last one, Exhibit 2. George, I'm going to show you what has been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 2. Do you recognize that document?
Yes,
What is it?
it's the code enforcement inspection of the house. Done July 17th, 2024.
Okay, and it discusses, what does this document discuss?
It discusses the condition of the house.
And all the repairs that were needed on it. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And this document was given to you, is that correct?
Yes,
Is the house currently being still red tag?
Yes,
If I can have that back. Your Honor, at this time, I move that plaintiff's exhibit 2 be entered into evidence.
Any objections to exhibit 2?
No.
Exhibit 2 is admitted.
Thank you. Miss George, I'm going to show you to plaintiff's exhibit 2. And it says inspector comments. I want you to read that highlighted.
during inspection to remove red tag, inspector found other safety violations. These violations must be filed along, complied with along the original red tag item to get the right tag removed. Inspector not able to complete full inspection due to all the pests in the house.
And to your knowledge, when you called the police to report that Amber was staying there at night, did the police contact her?
Yes,
Do you know if Amber got arrested?
I don't know, that could be a fact, but I'm told that is correct.
And she was probably charged with trespassing because she's not supposed to be in the premises?
That is my knowledge. That is my knowledge.
George, let me just want to recap. Some of the repairs needed. It said smoke detector is inoperable, missing. Is that correct?
Yes,
Walls are deteriorated, damaged with holes. Is that correct?
that is correct.
Water heater is missing flame shield.
Yes,
Sink missing in downstairs bathroom.
that's correct.
No cover for outlet in the bathroom.
That's correct.
The GFCI not working next to the dryer.
That's correct.
Second here. Look, I want to show you two again, what's been marked as plaintiff's exhibit 1. On page 2, paragraph F, right to forfeit. If you can kind of read what's been highlighted.
Purchaser failed to perform this contract or any part thereof, the seller immediately after such default shall have the right to declare the same forfeited and void, and shall retain whatever may have been paid hereon and all improvements that may have been made upon the premises, together with additions thereto, and consider the treatment of the purchaser and his tenant holding all of other permissions, and may take immediate possession of the premises.
And once again, has she ever given you any money?
No,
Last one, the last page, paragraph G. If you can read that, it's highlighted.
if default is made by the purchaser and such default continues for a period of 45 days or more, and the seller desires to foreclose this contract in equity, then the seller shall have at his option the right to declare the entire unpaid balance hereunder to be due and payable forthwith, notwithstanding anything hereon contained in the to the contrary. And I've got a note that I gave her 60 days. instead of 45 days.
Okay. And George, to your knowledge, it- has she left the premises?
Yes,
When did she leave the premises?
within the last couple months,
Does she still have any items there at the home?
maybe some clothing,
Does she still have keys?
yes.
And then George, let me ask you too, I had forgot, so we talked about in those 4 months, she was gonna do the repairs. Did you give her a vehicle?
Yes, I did give her a vehicle. That was in payment for the repairs that she was supposed to do.
I never got a vehicle. Yeah.
And that vehicle, what kind of vehicle was it?
Saturn 2008.
And do you have possession of that vehicle now?
It's at the mechanic's place. She asked him to haul it, tow it, whatever, to a mechanic to have it looked at.
And there was no contract done stating you would give her the vehicle,
It
right?
was a verbal contract
But it was to complete the repairs.
to complete the repairs, yes,
And your testimony is that she never completed the repairs.
because the red tag is still on the house.
All right, I have no further questions now. Ms. Bursley might ask you some questions.
It's weird, did we not have a verbal contract agreement with the land contract the day I notarized it and signed it? And this was not arranged until May, contrary to the contract in April. I did not have to start my financial obligations until your maintenance man was paid in full.
No,
Yes, we did.
Do you have any other questions for him?
Yes, I do. The vehicle was not given to me, was it?
it was given to you, yes.
When? Who went to Indiana and picked it up? When was I handed a set of keys?
I
Or
drove-
Okay,
title?
one question at a time.
I drove it from Indiana to Lansing. Get the keys to it.
I was not, sir. I was never given keys.
Okay, yeah, you can only ask questions. You can't go back and forth. That's argument. And argument is for the court, not for him. So you can ask him questions and then whatever you disagree with, you get to address when you give your testimony. Right now is your time to ask him questions.
Saying that they signed title.
You have a copy of the title.
Was I ever given a signed title where I could put the vehicle in my name? To
You were
make it
given
be
a
a
title.
payment, full payment. That's not what I asked, sir. Was I ever given a signed off
I
title
answered the question. You were given a title.
or no?
Was the title signed? Is that your question?
Ma'am,
Was the title
I
signed?
don't remember, Your Honor.
Okay, he does remember.
when you called the police to have me removed from the house and claimed I was a squatter, you say it was after hours. It was at noon on a Tuesday. Correct?
Your Honor, I just want to interject. I mean, her questions are kind of, she's testifying, but they're compounded.
That she's doing cross-examination. I thought that was an excellent question for a cross-examine. She even followed it. Is that correct? So that's an appropriate question.
Yes, sir.
What was the question again, Your Honor?
When you called and claimed I was a squatter after you hired me to clean out the house, it was at noon on a Tuesday. Why would you tell them I was living in the home and why would you say I was there illegally?
Well, that one's a little different
I
than the
forgot.
first question. I can understand why you would
repeat what the
forgot,
question was?
but you said that it was noon when he called.
Right.
Is that correct? When you called and said she
No.
was a squatter? He says, no, that's not correct.
When you say you had a roof guy come out and fix the roof, you just smeared tar on the roof, is that not correct?
I don't know what his actions were. I know that I
You were
paid
sitting right
for shingles and other products that he needed to do the job. Not a roofing guy.
You know why the house was originally red tagged? You own?
Yes, I know
Why?
exactly why. Because consumers came and replaced the meter and the underground gas lines because they had corroded and were leaking. So Code inspection had to do mechanical inspections of the meter to make sure that it was intact.
And when he come in and done that inspection and gave the go, why was it re-red tagged? That list,
The list.
it was inspected again after that list was made.
Is that correct?
I don't know.
It was.
Okay, well, that's a question for him that you can't give an answer. You can only give him a question. He doesn't know.
I don't know. I don't have that inspection certificate
Oh,
or
no.
inspection letter.
The only thing left on from that, okay, that's enough. Fine. I'm done with questions.
Okay, I have a couple questions. I'm trying to make sense of this land contract, and section B is very confusing. That the consideration for a sale of the above described premises to the purchaser is $75,000, of which the sum of $75,000 has heretofore been paid to the seller. Did you receive $75,000?
No,
So why does that say that?
typo.
Typo, the receipt of which is hereby acknowledged. It's not a typo. That's express language. Why would that be there?
I got the contract off the internet.
That's what I figured. And it's because I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So what is the amount that you intended to sell this for?
$75,000.
Okay, and had you received any money when you drafted this?
Not a
Okay,
penny.
so you took something off that already had that in there and you didn't know how to edit it properly. So that's an error,
That's
correct?
an error. I made an error.
Okay, and then it also does say here the balance of $75,000 is to be paid. So that was why I have the question. How much was supposed to be paid for? So the intention was for it to be $75,000 to be paid to the seller with interest on any part thereof at any time unpaid at a rate of 8%. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, and it says this balance of purchase money and interest shall be paid in monthly installments of $650, correct?
That's right.
And that it says on the 5th day of each month, beginning August 1st, said payments to be applied first upon the interest and the balance on the principal, provided the entire purchase money and interest shall be fully paid within. That's blank because you didn't really need that portion of language, but you didn't really edit this, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so your understanding of the agreement is you're selling it for $75,000. Nothing was paid up front, and that if I just look at the plain language, or if I try to decipher the language of this agreement, that it was going to be $650 per month beginning August 5th, because you were giving enough time for them to bring the property up to code. Is that what the issue?
That is correct, Your
Now,
Honor.
nothing in this agreement says anything about them having time to bring property up to code. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And is there anything in this agreement that's going to tell me about any side agreement that you may or may not have had?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, okay. So there's nothing I should see in here that's gonna tell me about, they don't have to pay you until you pay a maintenance man?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Any questions based on our questions of your witness?
No, Your Honor, I thought those were good questions.
Okay, then you can be removed from this answer. And any other witnesses?
No other witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay, and you have any witnesses, or are you gonna give testimony?
I'm gonna get testimony and I have my maintenance guy.
Okay, so you should give your testimony first. Is that how you want to do it? And then lay out what you believe your legal defenses are, and then you can call your witness. Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury. Okay, you can proceed.
I was hired in March, myself, my boyfriend, and maintenance man, his sister, to clean out his house. We already tried to sell somebody else's.
You say you were hired in March?
Yes, ma'am. George took us and dropped us off on March 7th and told us to live in the home.
What were you hired to do?
To empty it because it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms upstairs, and every bedroom upstairs was full of trash. I'm
Okay.
talking like 50 plus bags.
Do you run a business where you empty properties?
No, it's just Chief likes to scam people, so
Well-
he hired people that.
How did you?
Because my maintenance man's sister used to rent a room from him. He used to rent rooms on it.
Okay, you say you're a maintenance man?
Yeah, Butch, David.
Okay.
He was hired to do the maintenance, the manual.
Okay,
Stacy and I
so
were hired to
did
clean.
he enter an agreement with you to clear out the property, or with someone else?
With all 3 of us, we were supposed to be paid originally $100 a day each.
Okay, well, just tell me what you were supposed to be paid
I was supposed to
$100
make $100 a day.
to clean out this property in conjunction with some other people. Okay, continue.
And he told us to live in the house. Told us to hide in the basement and black out the windows. Then he couldn't pay us no money. So we ended up putting up a tent in the yard and staying outside. He couldn't pay at all. He couldn't pay for any. He put a total of $37 into Dollar General for cleaning supplies one time. He did pay to haul the trash, but he did not come every week. He came like the first month he came every week. Then it was like twice a month, and then it wasn't at all. He would send money, but only to Stacy Ambulance. I was never paid anything financially. And
Okay, so in
now
March,
I am
you
the
entered
only
into
one
this-
with an income.
Okay, so you entered into this agreement in March to clear out the property, but you were never paid?
Nothing. I was never
Okay.
paid a dime.
Okay, so then how do you go from that to, I'm gonna get into a land contract?
Well, because it's a really nice house. Yes, I know it's kind of a corny reason, but I can hear the lion roar all the time. Right at the zoo. My baby brother was murdered and his cemetery is right around the corner. So I thought it was a sign to buy. Everybody told me don't do it, George Street. I'm worried about it. Cover my own hands. That's why I have all my documentation. He rented it to me. And he signed a rental agreement.
That's your rental agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you show him that first? Show the attorney first.
Back in, he had me sign it in end at March, beginning of April, but when I asked for a copy of it, he changed the date of it. And when he sent it to me, so now it says that I signed it in May. And that was to try to scam the electric company and he turned the water and lights back on so we could clean. He then.
Give me just a moment so I can get the agreement. Okay, so this was the lease agreement that you
The
entered
rental
into,
agreement.
rental lease agreement. Okay, that it was just between you and Mr. Lockup, okay,
The only actual documentation is of everything, it's only between George and I.
okay, keep
Everything else
going.
is verbal. Then we decide, that I will buy it on land contracts. Got like 4 grandbabies, 3 kids. If anything, we can just run it and then rent it out or turn it into a bed and breakfast or something. It's a nice home. So I decided to get into the land contract with him. I agreed to pay probably $45,000 more than the house is even worth.
Meaning, the 75,000, you believe?
Is way too high for
Okay.
the house, yes. And because the only reason I say that is because the roof needs to be completely redone. And the reputation the house developed from when George lived there is horrible. They think it's a drug home. So it was ridiculous. I'm going to object to the hearsay, Your Honor.
Objection.
The police report to my red tag.
The objection is sustained. It's still hearsay. Let's talk about this contract because it's 340. You got a land contract.
Yep.
You entered into an agreement that you're gonna pay 75,000?
Yes, but before I would agree to sign the land contract, we had a verbal. My financial obligation on the house, not even the insurance starts until the maintenance man is paid in full.
Okay, so before you agree to sign this paperwork, is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
You're saying that there was another agreement for something else to happen?
Before I made any payments on the home. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is that here anywhere?
No, it's a verbal.
Oh,
agreement.
okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I have put here, I have 2 other people that were there for the verbal, but I don't know where they are, so I couldn't get them to come.
Okay, keep going.
It had he paid Butch off and fixed the roof like he agreed to, or at least attempted to properly, because that's the only reason the house is red tape. It was re-inspected. Everything on this list has been fixed. The only reason it is still red tagged is because it needs a new roof. I can't afford new. That's why I had George add that into the land contract. If he couldn't afford it, he should not have put it in the land contract. I do not feel I'm financially obligated to owe him any money because Butch is still not paid, and now he's taking the cars back from Butch. So Butch doesn't even have the car anymore. So Butch has been paid nothing either. Butch and I are not married, therefore the car was not given to me. Butch, he come up, he drove Butch to
What
Indiana.
exactly does the car have to do with this again?
Well, because that was which had to be paid in full, which he was getting the car for the maintenance work, for me to start my financial obligation on the house. Because I knew he would screw Butch out of the money he owed him as well.
Okay, but Butch is not a party to this contract, correct?
No, ma'am,
Okay,
but there was a stipulation
Okay.
involved. in it.
but it's not written here, correct?
No, it's verbal.
Keep going.
And due to the verbal contract, I don't feel I owe George any money yet. It's not that I didn't want the house, but he won't fix the roof. The day after he found out he had to fix the roof is when he started calling the police on me, turning me in as a squatter. After, anytime the police showed up out there, he would tell them, no, they're legally allowed to be there.
Okay, the contract does provide that he's supposed to will fix roof for purchaser. You have evidence that the roof's not fixed.
Don't have any pictures on there, but that is part of the reason it's still red tagged and I'm not getting up on a roof. I'm sorry, I can't even barely
Well, how
walk
do you know that the roof's not fixed?
because the house is still red tagged. That's the only thing with the tag on, which and I fixed everything else.
Where is it that says that the only reason that's holding us up is the roof?
This is not the last inspection on the home yet.
Well, they provided this.
I don't
Don't cut me off. They provided a red tag. If you claim that there was another red tag that says roof needs to be repaired, I need to see it, and you knew you was having a hearing today, so where is it?
Because if they don't give me a copy, they did not, ma'am, because
But you could have gotten a copy in preparation for today, the same way they got a copy of this.
George gets a mail tag.
Yeah, but you still could have gotten a copy. If you're saying that the roof, how do you know that it was the roof if you didn't see a copy?
Because I was there when the inspection was done, because George had called the police on me again, and then black officer took us out of the home and told us we couldn't go back in until the red tag people showed up. And I walked through while he inspected it, everything was done but the roof, ma'am.
You walked through with code enforcement and they told you it was because of the roof?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I need proof. That's all. I need proof to support your claim.
Because George told me not to certify land contracts. I didn't have rights to that.
You didn't have rights to what information?
The red tag stuff. I couldn't just call.
Red tag, that's all on the city website. That's free information. It's public information. You can go up there and see if there's, first of all, you rented from this guy.
I know.
You knew it was red tagged, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so how do you know
I
that the
didn't know what
person,
red tag really meant.
how do you know that the person who came up there and put, whatever they put on the roof, put with it, because you asked them a question about what was put on the roof. How do you know what was put on the roof?
Because I watched the guy carry the black stuff up the steps, and George and I are sitting on the front porch talking about signing into this land contract.
Yeah, but
Right there.
But you said you
And
know that he
told
only
George that it
put,
needed a complete tear out that day.
okay, so
Objection to your statement.
the objection is sustained. You gotta have evidence. You can't just come in and make some claims without providing some evidence. Maybe the roof isn't repaired. I don't know. He says it was repaired. You say it wasn't, and you're saying that that's your defense. So you gotta provide me some proof of that. And then you have a witness that you wanna call? David Bartlett? You raise your right hand. Your other right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
So you can have a seat. Okay, and state your first and last name and spell both.
Martin Bartlett Jr.
Okay.
Spell your first
spell
and last name.
G-A-I-D Bartlett, B-A-R-T-L-E-T-T.
Were you there when I had discussions with George on buying, signing into the land contracts? You were with us for all of our conversations.
Yes.
George and I have a verbal contract. No financial obligation started on my behalf until you were paid in full for your maintenance work prior to April.
Well, there's an
Not-
objection. If there's an objection, you have to
I'm
let,
sorry, I didn't realize.
there's an objection. What is the objection?
I want to object, Your Honor. The questions are not relevant. We have a land contract. This gentleman was not a party to the land contract. And so the question is irrelevant. She said I had to have proof for a witness.
No, I said you had the proof about the roof,
Right,
because that's part of the agreement. You said you were calling a witness.
due to the financial obligation I have to start, I don't owe him any money, that's why he's.
That's the only testimony he's supposed to provide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then he's correct. I don't really need any additional testimony to support that. I don't dispute that you believe that there was an agreement outside of this agreement, but
So then this is verbal null and void, I still.
no, verbal agreement, just because the verbal agreement is not what makes it problematic, because verbal agreements can be just as binding as anything in writing. The issue is that you have an agreement between the two. In order for there to be some agreement, there's gotta be a meeting of the minds between the people here and some consideration. There's nowhere in here in this agreement that says anything about a third party triggering the starting of this. There's even sections on here where there's been initials that things have been changed. In your testimony, your statement was that you refused to even enter into this agreement until he agreed to do something else outside of that, which means that should have been listed here. But it was not listed here. And so here's the thing. If hypothetically, I were to believe your side, which is that he still owes him something, it's none of your business anymore. He has recourse in the court to file a suit against him to get whatever he thinks is owed to him. You don't get to enforce their agreement.
By paying him, he would be paying me too. I mean, it wasn't just maintenance for period, it was being paid full.
I don't know, that's not a part of this. And so if he was supposed to pay him a vehicle or whatever it was, and he didn't do it, then he can sue him if that's what he wants to do. That's between them two, though. You can't now decide that, well, my contract, I can live or hold over this property because he didn't pay a third party. And I told him he had to do that before I would pay him anything. But that's listed nowhere in here. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. You can be excused from this stand. Any other argument or any more evidence? Any further for you?
Probably just a couple questions to Ms. Bursley.
Absolutely.
Ms. Bursley, the lease agreement is dated May 1st, 2024, is that correct? That's what that one says. Okay. That's how I signed it. But it was dated May 1st, which was one full month after the land contract was dated and signed. Is that correct?
I didn't sign the land contract until May. It's dated on there. I didn't even lay my eyes on the land contract till the day it was notarized. So George said it said April, and George and the lady who notarized it told me it didn't matter that it said April. I didn't even see this land contract till May 15th when I notarized.
Now let me ask you, the lease agreement. You told George, I need to do a lease agreement because I have to have one done for the Social Security office. Is that
No,
correct?
George wanted the white lights and water turned on the day he dropped us off, and he had me call the Board of Water and Lights to try to get it turned on with a rental agreement. And that's when Board and Water and Lights told me that he didn't have the proper search to be a rental. And I'd already signed the rental agreement. So because I already signed it, I knew George was gonna scan me, I asked for a copy of it and he changed the date on it. But I called Board of Water and Lights on March 7th and tried to turn his power on for him.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Okay, thank you. You can make an argument.
Yes. Your Honor, it was a land contract. It was entered 1st of April, 2024. That lease agreement was entered a full month thereafter. Your Honor, it's clear that no payments were made by Ms. Bursley to George. The agreement was for $650 each month to begin on August 1st. Now, 5 months, nothing was paid. She owes $32.50. And Your Honor, she has breached the land contract. She tries to argue about all these other irrelevant oral contracts, but the land contract dictates on what is to happen. And Your Honor, I ask that my client be given immediate possession. I ask too that Ms. Bursley turn over, she has 2 sets of keys, turn it over to my client today. My client can also, I believe he thinks she may have clothing left there that my client can put it, bag it up, put it on the porch. That's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
I'm sorry, and I do have a question, because and even in your argument, you just brought up some glaring issues here for your client. You're still under oath, sir. That's your signature?
I showed you, no, on the lease.
This is a lease agreement.
Yes, that is my signature.
Okay, why do you have a lease agreement for May 1st, 2024?
Exactly.
That's exactly what I want to know.
All right, you mind if I stand up?
Feel free.
Okay, so she told me she needed a lease agreement. The lease agreement can't be accepted by VWL because it's not a rental house. It wasn't inspected as a rental house. She can't lease the house. VWL will not inspect it. She wanted the lease agreement so she could show the Social Security office, in case they question how she got a house, that she's paying X number of dollars for a house. So I thought, well, this is some funky stuff here.
Okay, but you're still engaged in some funky stuff?
I questioned it. She told me afterwards that this is why she wanted.
After what?
After we signed the land contract, that this is why she wanted it.
Yeah, but-
After I sent it to her.
But she didn't put a gun to your head to do this, correct?
That is correct.
So you entered a lease agreement for a property that you know is red tagged, where it says that she's paying you $800 a month. And that she can live there with a dog. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that you signed this on May 1st, 2024.
324. Was after that.
Well, the date of this says May 1st, this is made of May 1st, 2024. Doesn't give me a date, at least on this, as to when this was signed. I just see the beginning of this
Right.
agreement, which is as of May 1st. But your land contract was for April 1st, 2024.
Yes. And I got that
So-
notarized because
So which one? Okay, so which one of these am I supposed to believe is the truth?
the land contract.
Why?
Because she specifically told me after I did this lease, you wanted this lease, you wanted this lease, you wanted this lease. Okay, I'll give you a lease. Then she tells me, well, I gotta take it to the Social Security office because they're gonna question the money that I'm spending on this house. Confuse the daylights out of me as to why.
Okay, thank you. You can continue with any argument.
Oh, Your Honor, that makes sense to me.
What makes
I mean,
sense?
Well, you have to prove to the Social Security office. Now, I know she denied that, Your Honor. But Your Honor, too, and it doesn't make sense. I mean, she put in there $800 and then she's paying $650. But Your Honor, my client said she's the one that wanted it. And my client also too, Your Honor, he went ahead and signed it. He had no legal representation. But Your Honor, the land contract was done April 1st. That trumps. And Your Honor, I mean.
It trumps what?
Well, it trumps the rental agreement. I mean, that should never been entered into. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You have a land contract, you don't need a lease agreement. And then even a follow-up, I mean, that land contract speaks for itself. And I'm not sure, it doesn't make sense. And Your Honor, I mean, the bottom line is she's not paid any money. She's been moved out.
I think that's clear that she's not paid any money. I think that's unequivocal. I don't know that the land contract necessarily speaks for itself, because the land, if it spoke for itself, she paid $75,000 already. If we went with that.
Well, Your Honor, my client explained the reason. I saw that too, and he never ran that by me. And she's testified, no, I mean, no money was changed hands. And Your Honor, that's kind of the sad part about it, is why we're always here. People, not much money, and they're fighting over things. But Your Honor, she wants to stay there, but I mean, she doesn't pay, and she breached it, clearly breached it. And
It's clear to me that there's been no money exchange. That's clear based on her testimony. She's not disputing that she's not paid any money. What she believed her legal basis for withholding the money is that he was supposed to turn over a vehicle to someone else before she would have to start paying any money. Unfortunately, this doesn't say that. And I'm not going by any outside agreements that was not documented in this writing, especially if you negotiated it per your statement prior to you even signing that. Then it should have been, you see how you wrote all these other fun things in here at initial? Should have said, seller will receive no payments until vehicle is turned over. That's easy, but that wasn't in there. And so I'm gonna go by this, and this is already difficult enough to construe because when you go on a social media, or you go on, I'm sorry, go on Google and you just pull off a land contract and try to make it your own without having enough legal understanding as to how to manipulate it, it can get confusing. So that's why that was one of my first questions when he was on the stand to myself. I said, I don't understand how much are they selling this for? It doesn't even really break that down. After his clarification, his testimony, it's clear to me his intention was for it to be $75,000 for the payment. Your statements corroborate that because you said it was 75,000 and you thought it was above what it was worth. Do I believe that there was some shady or funky business the way he wants to use it? I believe there was some funky business on both parts. I think this is funky. This is definitely funky. I don't know why there would ever need to be a lease agreement after there is a land contract, but obviously for it's for some purposes of fraud upon the government, whatever entity that was, I'm not sure. In addition to the land contract issue, I've said it before and I'm gonna say it again, you can't decide now that you're not going to do your responsibilities under this contract that you signed because he had an outside responsibility allegedly with him and someone else that you're in a dating relationship with, even if you were married. If it's not in this contract, it doesn't count. If he has an agreement, verbal or otherwise, because verbal contracts matter, and he was supposed to pay him by giving him a vehicle, then that needs to go to small claims or go to general civil to deal with. But it ain't gonna be dealt with here as it comes to this. So I'm gonna find in favor of the plaintiff for default. You're not paid any money. And how many months has it been?
I have
5
not,
he knows I have not been on that, I have not been at that property since September when I was arrested. I have not been allowed.
But you've been holding over the property, you never turned over the key.
I had no contact with him.
Okay, so you still been turned over. So possession in favor of the plaintiff.
I don't have the key. One, I don't have the keys on me. And two, I need to get my stuff out of the house. There's a whole house.
You'll have time to do that. You have paperwork at all? Or are you going to complete that?
I do, Your Honor. I do. Yes, I do.
How much time do you need to get your stuff off the property?
I don't get paid till next month, but I can at least a week, if not 2. I could get till the 1st, it would be great, but I'm not. The house needs to get in there and get it winterized. I don't want it ruined anymore now.
Well, you can allow them to go and winterize it and still have time to get your stuff out because the property is red tag, correct?
Do you want me to sign it, Your Honor? Or just let you look at it? Under by mistake, I checked off consent.
Now, with the property being red tag, the neighborhood officer has given me hell of a problem. Excuse my language. Can I be
I
there?
don't want to excuse your language. I want you to choose your words carefully.
I'm sorry. From 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to get my stuff, seems how that's legal hours to work on the thing, on the property. Can I be there during them hours to get my stuff without having any legal issues with the law? That's the reason I've not been back on the property is because he said I was stepped back on the rest.
You have to have the opportunity to get your stuff from the property. Less than 50% of the purchase price has been paid. Let's see.
No, Your Honor, if we could put in there, if we can set up a date and time that.
Under further orders, I'm going to give her to the 31st to remove her items.
We put it, and then to turn over the keys, correct, Your Honor?
Plaintiff can make access immediately for winterization because it's really cold.
Yeah.
So Your Honor, that means my client can call a locksmith and change the locks, correct?
I said he can access it. Do you have keys?
They're in Bellevue. I did not grab them. I was running late.
Okay,
I can meet him maybe
I'm giving her
tomorrow
to the
in town.
31st to get her things out. But he can go in immediately to winterize the property. That doesn't mean all of her stuff's got to get out. If he changes the locks, how she's gonna get in and get her
I'll
stuff.
get a key for the house from the locksmith.
Don't trust him, man.
Hire the locksmith to make a key.
You're gonna change the key.
No, I'm gonna leave the locks the same. The locksmith will make a key for me for the house.
Okay. So you're just gonna get a new lock for that door that's already
For
on
one
there, is what
door.
you're saying?
Yeah, there's two
Versus
doors.
getting a key from her?
Right.
So her key that she has will still work?
Yes.
Okay.
Is he gonna do the front door or the back door? Because that matters.
Can I get the key? Can
It's
I
in
get the-
Bellevue. I honest to God do not have it on me.
Yeah, she.
She doesn't have to turn over the, she
I-
doesn't have to
I-
turn over the key to the 31st, because I'm giving her to the 31st. Yeah, she doesn't have to turn over the key now. She's gotta be able to have access to get her stuff.
I'll get a key to the back door.
The back door is the one I have the keys to. I need to change the front door.
Okay,
He
I'll
wants to
change
go
the
in,
front door.
because I always would use the back door because it was easy. That's where the kitchen was. That's where-
I don't care which door it's changed. She can have access to the property to the 31st. He can go in today if he wants to winterize it, because we're having a snowstorm and it feels like 17 degrees. Any additional matters for the record?
No, thank you.
Thank you, you're all set. Mr. Dewar, you had a matter?
Your Honor, it may take a few minutes.
You have a co-compliance matter today?
He was a witness.
Oh,
He was subpoenaed as a witness in the 3:30 case, Your Honor.
which one? We have 2 3:30s.
Just 1 second.
Is it Lucky Rental?
Yes, correct, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Okay, got it. You said yours is gonna
I
take a
I
while?
have two defendants on Zoom who were supposed to be in person. One is here.
Did you come to a resolution?
Unfortunately not, no.
Okay, well, the people who are not here are getting defaulted because I didn't give anyone permission to appear via Zoom today.
Understood. The other defendant is in the hallway and my witness is in the hallway.
That, they can come in.
I also have a default.
Which matter you're here for?
We got Butler Apartments, Quaylo Ray.
Sure.
Anybody here for Quaylo Ray? No? You can bring me the default, I'll sign it.
Thank you, Judge.
Downstairs is the lockers.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I don't know where Mr. O'Brien went. He was in the hallway.
Okay, well,
I have plaintiff's agent here. I was talking to Mr. O'Brien extensively. I don't know where he went.
I get booted off Zoom and that's probably good because it's 4 o'clock. Let's see.
Lights all marked up.
Do you need another one? There's a blank one. Yeah.
Sounds like we might do a default too, so if I can get two, that'd be great.
So.
Thank you so much.
I don't have any participants. No. Okay, now this is the matter of S&S Acquisitions versus Aaron O'Brien and Patricia Aldridge. And a Paul Cannon, 24-05315. Council appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sam Joe here on behalf of the plaintiff.
This, someone is on Zoom with the hood on.
Yeah, that's me,
What's your name?
Paul Cannon.
Did you get permission from the court to appear via Zoom for an in-person hearing?
Yes, we did. Aaron O'Brien talked to them.
Who gave you permission? Because I'm the court. I didn't give you permission.
The clerk.
The clerk didn't give you permission. The court has to give permission. The court didn't, you didn't even ask the clerk for permission, actually, because they would have called me.
I don't know. I figured Aaron O'Brien had called them because he said he'd do.
Aaron O'Brien is not present in the courtroom. I've called the case. How do you want to proceed, counsel?
If it pleases the court, Your Honor, based on the non-appearance, plaintiff should take default as to possessory and monetary judgment requested in the complaint.
Default will enter for failure to appear for hearing scheduled for today at 3:15. Do you have paperwork?
I will in just a minute, Your Honor. May I approach?
You may.
Thank you. Sorry. We were negotiating extensively, so I
Okay.
had something else on it.
Default judgment is entering in the amount of $6,260.06. The parties can pay that by the 16th of December, or they must vacate the property of 3625 Coach Light Commons on or before that date. Do you have any questions for the court?
No, not at this time.
Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for Your Honor. Have a good day. Have a good evening.
Same to you. We're all set. Okay, let's see. Ms. Top- Oh, I didn't know who was calling me. Do you have another matter?
No, but as I was waiting for my copy, I realized it was not filed as a paid estate as a termination. I cross out the numbers.
Okay, that's fine.
For which one?
Date,
That was for
Quaylo Ray.
Quaylo Ray.
That's this one.
Oh, yeah.
Approval.
Yes, please.
What's that number?
It was a termination. This is not a non-
What happened with, did we see Thomas Blanc at all?
No, he did not show up.
Okay, can you provide me a dismissal? The case is dismissed, you're all set. You're here, you're Cookson, correct? Okay, Mr. Blanc failed to appear, so you're free to go. Okay, on the record in the matter of Lucky Rental LLC versus Alexandria Kinney. This is 24-05771. Council appearance?
Yes.
Council, you come over here. Yes. Let's take your stuff with you. She's gonna sit over there, you're gonna sit over there. What's your name, ma'am?
Alexandria Kenny.
Okay, today was the date that was set for hearing. This is for a non-payment of rent. My vague recollection is that there was a defense as to a red tag property or something, correct? Or
Yes,
condition?
we were talking about why the payment for rent hadn't been made, and you told me to bring back my pictures and my proofs.
Okay, sounds good. Council, are you ready to proceed with your case, or did you come with a resolution?
Yes, no, I will present my case.
Okay,
Your Honor, may I present you with an exhibit, please? A copy of the exhibit.
What exhibit?
All the exhibits, all the pros.
Well,
So I prepared an extra.
I recognize that, but are you calling a witness?
Yes, I will call the witness.
Okay, sounds good. Call your witness.
May I give you the copy? or-
Well, we'll see if they're gonna be admitted or not. I just don't want to file of paperwork.
All right.
Call your witness.
Right now?
Yes.
I told Ms. Dunn. She is the owner and property manager of Lucky.
Well, she'll tell us what she is when she gets her testimony. You come up here, ma'am, and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, you can have a seat. No, you're sitting right there. Okay, I noticed that you brought a folder of items with you. You're giving testimony based off your own recollection. You're not allowed to read that unless the court gives you permission to read it, okay? Okay, state your name, first and last, and spell both. Your name? Spell both.
First name L-I, last name T-E-N-T.
Thank you. You can proceed to question your witness.
Ms. Dunn, could you please tell the court, what's your relationship with Lucky Rental LLC? The plaintiff in this case.
I am an owner of the Lucky Rental LLC and the manager.
As the owner and manager, your duties include ensuring the tenant adhere to all terms of the lease and perform tenant's obligations under the lease.
Is that a question? You have to ask a question.
Yes, I'm asking.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so your duty includes ensuring the tenant adhere to all terms of the lease and perform tenant's obligations under the lease and managing the property at 1407 West Willow Street for the landlord, including such as repair.
Wait a
and
minute,
maintenance.
wait a minute.
Is that right?
Ma'am,
yes.
You're reading an argument. You have to ask her questions. What are your duties as it relates? That's not a question.
Okay. I'm asking a direct.
Yeah, that's not a question. You're
Okay.
It's very leading.
All right, okay, I understand. So please tell us your duty as the manager and the owner of the property.
I'm just leave the property out and collect the rent, from the requirement from the tenants of what need to be. You know, if they had any repair requests, collecting the rent, etc.
So you are familiar with this case against the tenant, Ms. Alexandra, correct?
Yes.
Now you have a series of exhibits. You have before you a series of exhibits. I would like to direct your attention to exhibit marked as exhibit, plaintiff's exhibit 5 for identification purpose.
Police?
Yeah, I'm working through it. Do you have the exhibit in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. Can you identify the document for the court, please?
That is the residential lease.
This is the actual lease agreement between the Lucky Rental LLC and Ms. Alexandra Tenant, is that right?
Yes.
Is this the standard lease contract from the Lucky Rental LLC?
Yes.
Now, examine the document. On the bottom of the page 9 of the lease, there are the actual signature of both parties, is that right?
Yes, correct.
Is this your testimony that this is the true and actual copy of the lease agreement between Lucky Rental LLC and Alexandra Tenant, intended as a business record?
Yes.
Now, look at the first page of the lease agreement. The stated rent and charges are in what figure? Let us know what you have over there.
The monthly rent is
1,250. Okay. Is there anything else?
And lastly, there's a late fee if they pay after pay. And a property of $30.
Okay, how much is the late fee?
The late fee is a $50 per
It's
month.
$50 per month. They pay late, right?
Right.
Okay. So 1,250 is the pure rent amount, is that right?
Correct.
Is there any communication between you and Ms. Kenny when she failed to pay as agreed in the lease?
Yes.
When was that started?
Of this year?
Yeah.
This year?
Yeah, this year.
Okay. Okay. So Ms. Kenny failed to pay the rent fully for that month, is that right?
Correct.
And that failure to pay has continued until today, is that right?
Correct.
You have before you what is marked for identification purpose as plaintiff's exhibit 4. Can you identify what that document is for the court? Oh, wait, pardon me. Pardon me. Let's go back. Okay.
You're still on exhibit 5?
Yeah.
Did you show that to her at all? Exhibit 5?
I don't know.
She's got to see it before I can admit it. So she's got to be able to verify that's her actual lease.
I will be sure. I give her this along. May I take home?
Is that, I want you to review that and let me know if there's an objection to that be admitted as plaintiff's 5.
Okay, plaintiff I was correct.
Oh, so plaintiff's 5 is admitted.
Okay, so Your Honor, we would like to move for admission of exhibit 5.
It's admitted.
Now, Ms. Tan, do you have before you what is marked for identification purposes plaintiff's exhibit 4?
The rent legal.
Can you identify what the document is for the court? What is the document?
The rent legal.
Is that for Ms. Kenny's rental account?
Correct.
This ledger accurately reflects the charges and credits for her rent account and her tenancy at 1407 West Willow Street. Is that right?
Correct.
The ledger was prepared as of October 2024. Is that right? And was updated to include the rent and the late fee for November and December 2024. Is that right? And this is a document that is maintained for the normal business operation of Lucky Rental LLC. Is that right?
Correct.
Your Honor, we would like to move for admission of plaintiff's exhibit 4.
Any objection to exhibit 4? I think she needs to see it.
I don't know what exhibit 4 is.
Correct?
No objection to
No
that.
objection?
No, my only objection is, you said the last time I made a payment was in January, this says April 2024.
Okay. It says that you made a payment in April 2024 on that.
I mean, unless I'm reading this incorrectly.
This is a ledger, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, it's admitted.
Thank you.
I'll review it.
Now, Mr. You have before you what is for identification purpose plaintiff exhibit 3. Can you please identify the document for the court?
Is some kind of non-payment of the rent, landlord tenant.
Yeah, what is it? The demand for possession? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now look at the bottom of the document, who appeared on that page. Yeah, the bottom of the demand of possession. Whose name is on there? Is that your name, Stan's name, or someone else?
Last name is LLC, my name on it.
Okay. Thank you. You cited the document, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And also, did you mail Ms. Sten by first class mail a written eviction notice, which is the demand for possession for non-payment of the rent before initiating this eviction proceeding?
Yes.
And you mailed the document to Ms. Kenny by first class mail on July the 20th, 2024. Is that right?
Yes.
Your Honor, we would like to move that for admission of plaintiff's exhibit number 3.
CC number 3.
Oh.
Yeah. I did receive that.
Okay. Exhibit 3 is the notice to quit, is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay, it's admitted.
Now, Ms. Dunn, you now have before you what is marked for identification purpose as plaintiff's exhibit 9. Can you please identify what that document is for the court? Yes.
Consent order for the condition of this use.
Can you please also give the case number?
04151.
The order was entered on what date? Maybe on the second page.
February 13, 2023.
Okay, 2023, is that right?
No, February 13, 2023.
And the document indicates the name of the plaintiff to be Lucky Rental LLC and the name of the defendant to be Alexandra Penny and address of the defendant to be 1407 West Willow Street, Lansing, Michigan. Is that right? Okay.
That was, right, but that balance was paid off.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so you understand. No objection to this. Now we would like to, yes.
If that balance is paid off, are we talking about like current right now?
No, don't worry about that.
Because that's from 2023, correct?
Yes, you're right. The
Okay.
balance is paid.
Okay.
Okay, Your Honor, we would like to move for admission of plaintiff's exhibit 9.
Exhibit 9,
Yes.
any objection to exhibit 9?
No, I just don't understand what
What is exhibit 9?
like, I get it, it's the payment from February, but that's paid
No,
off.
exhibit 9 is the consent judgment, consent order for conditional dismissal of another case.
Why is that relevant?
It's relevant because that shows that Ms. Penny has also failed to pay the rent before.
It's not a minute, it's not a minute.
Okay. Right, Ms. Penny. You now have before you what is marked for identification purposes, plaintiff's exhibit 7, page 29. Can you identify what that document is for the court, please? Yes, page 29.
It's a certificate of the compliance for rental development.
Okay. The document is for the property located at the 1407 West Willow Street, is that right?
Correct.
Okay, the document was issued on September the 29th, 2023, and it will expire on March the 1st, 2026, is that right?
Correct.
This document is for the compliance of the. I don't know if that's what.
So, Your Honor, we would like to move for admission of the plaintiff's exhibit 7, page 29.
Any objection?
I don't even know what the paper is that she just showed me.
Either, what is it?
It is the certificate of compliance for the property.
Certificate of compliance
For the property.
from code compliance, you mean?
No, for what?
It's from code compliance, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Just a minute. You can reset it.
Ms. Dunn, you have before you what is marked for identification purpose as plaintiff's exhibit 8.
There is a text message between me and Elizabeth.
That's right. So can you please identify that document? That document. The page 30, page 30 in exhibit 8. What is it? Please identify that document for the court.
There's a text message conversation with me and Elizabeth. Talking about the, I think, so it's a plumbing. So this is text message that it shows that she called me on the January 16, 2024 about the leaking water.
Okay, and then for this text message exchange, you also wrote something, some comment on the right of those messages, did you?
She called and say the water is coming from the second floor.
Now, please answer the question. Did you write some comments on the right of the messages?
Yes.
Okay, what are they? Please tell the court.
And she called and say the water coming from the second floor to the first floor. of the bedroom.
And
Um,
what else? The comments. you
The other
wrote.
comment, okay.
Mhm.
And in the background, and I heard the baby dad.
Just read it, please.
Okay. The baby dad talked to me on the phone saying house is so cold, have no heat, and say I need to fix the heat.
And is there anything else? Any other comment?
All of the comments started. And my plumber found out there are several spots of pipe was busted because of the cold temperature in the house.
Okay, so how do you tie all those messages together? What happened? Please tell the court.
So when she called me, then at 6:45 p.m. So this when she called me, then I text her. I hang up phone. I text her and say, okay, my plumber's on the way.
Okay.
So that means I responded.
Okay.
Right there.
Mhm.
And then she texted me back and said that, and to clear things up, my furnace was not broken, and I did have heat. That's what her text message.
Okay.
But then I respond and say, oh, that's good. Wondering how can you stay in with no heat? That's my response.
All right. And then why do you write those comments?
Because that's what I heard from the.
No, you write the comments too, right? The three comments you wrote on the right side. Do you try to communicate? Do you try to, did you, okay, so we understand that there's, the house does not, according to your comment, we understand that there's no heat in the house at that time.
Yes.
And there's a pipe. That
pipe
bust.
Mhm.
Why? Okay, and, all right, so, well.
Yeah, I remember that.
Your Honor, we would like to move for admission of plaintiff's exhibit 8, page 30, page 30.
Say text messages?
Yes. So the text messages, is, yes, I.
Yeah, she doesn't object to them. They're admitted.
Now let's turn to page 33 of exhibit 8, please, page 33, exhibit 8. Can you please identify the document to the court?
This is the repair invoice from Louis Orlando to do the repair
Okay.
on the house.
Then what was the date on the invoice and how much was the invoice amount?
On the invoice, there's a frozen water pipe. On the second kitchen lead to the first kitchen. And the unclogged drain.
Oh, I'm just asking, Mr. Please just answer the question. What was the date of the invoice and what's the
The
amount?
invoice date is on March 18, 2024.
So is there any relationship between this invoice and the text message?
Yes.
How is that related? Could you please tell?
Here's the frozen pipe plastic.
There's a pipe discharge. I've never seen that, so I don't know
Of
how much
course,
the pipe
because
costs.
that's the invoice. So, Your Honor, we would like to move for admission of 20 Exhibit A, page 33, the invoice.
Is admitted without objection.
Next, Ms. Dunn, please look at the page 36 of the Exhibit A. Please identify the document to the court. What is it? What is the document?
Oh, I emailed to you. This email between you and me.
Yes, could you please read what you wrote in the email?
Okay. Is it all these damages are started on January from that frozen pipe? She did ask me to replace the stove because her stove caught on fire because she had a pizza box in the oven when she baked, but I did not replace it. It's her responsibility to replace it. Also can clean the oven.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah, that's the email that she sent to you, but she also told me that she would replace my oven. So,
May I have this evidence?
Is admitted.
Okay, next, Ms. Dunn, let's look at the page 36 of Exhibit A. Oh, no, sorry. Page 23A of Exhibit 7.
What page number?
Yes, Exhibit 7, page 23A. Could you please identify the document to the court?
That is from the co-enforcement office indicated the grass and weeds in the entire yard that is over 8 inches. Over 8 inches need to be confirmed.
Okay, so please tell the court, what have you done after you received this document?
After I received it, because I cannot get hold of Alexandra, so I had to go hire somebody to do it. Otherwise, I will get a big bill from the city.
So eventually you got compliance, okay? Now look at the pages 35 of Exhibit A.
35.
Yeah, 35 of Exhibit A. Exhibit A, page 35. Find it?
Oh, okay, it's a complaint on, September 12, 2024.
Okay, so that shows the compliance of what?
Of that, the grass needs to be cut.
Your Honor, can we admit this evidence? This
This,
exhibit into evidence.
any objection to this? No, sorry, it's admitted.
All right, Miss Dan, let's look at the page 23 of exhibit 8. Oh, pardon. Page 32 of exhibit 8.
It's the invoice from, Orlando Lewis,
Yeah. Okay, how much is it?
$901.51.
And what was the date?
It is on July 27, 2024.
And what was the purpose of getting this service?
It says it's sort of well. We grout around the bathroom,
Yes.
new vanity sinks in cabinet.
Why did you have those services?
It's a continuous repair from the damage on January 16th.
All right, thank you.
Just because I know you did you subpoena other witnesses, Ms. Pye?
Yes, I did.
Okay, because it's almost 5 o'clock and I'm not making them come back here, so you're gonna have to get to them today.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You have any objection to this?
I do object that because my sink hasn't been really working since I moved in there, and Orlando said that it needed to be replaced anyway because it was really old, and that's why he replaced it.
Is this invoice contain anything that you requested?
I mean, I didn't request it. Orlando just did it on his own.
No, my question is, are this services provided?
Oh, did he come and do all these things?
That you requested Ms. Dunn to repair and provide?
I didn't request for her to repair those things. Orlando said that
Okay.
he was doing them on his own
I
because they
understand.
needed to be replaced.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. May I move for admission of the exhibit A, page 32.
You had a objection to that exhibit?
Yeah. She said that they were from, basically the repairs were due from when the pipes busted in January, but when the maintenance guy came, he said that he was replacing them because they were old and that he was going through and doing a lot of repairs in all of our houses.
The exhibit, is it text messages or? is it
No, it's
receipt?
just it's an invoice.
It's an invoice.
But
from
that
you.
was not
Okay.
what Ms.
Okay,
said.
it'll be admitted.
Yes. Ms. Dunn, could you please repeat what that invoice is? Why do you have that invoice?
This invoice is for the replacing of the vanity in the first floor.
Yeah.
And they change the valve for the.
Okay, so that's somehow related to the text message?
Not necessary, not
Okay.
necessary.
It's admitted.
Thank you. All right, okay, we have to go fast today.
I'm not saying I'm not saying you have to skip anything, but you can recall her because I want you to get to them.
Oh,
Yes.
that'd be great. I
Yeah.
will do that. Thank you.
Because I want you to get to
I really
your
appreciate
witnesses so
that.
that you don't tie up.
Yeah.
They got a lot of things to do out there.
Oh, I understand.
Pipes are bursting everywhere
That's
right
very
now.
kind of people. Thank you, Your Honor. So may I now call the officer?
Yes, you can step down for now, ma'am. You, ma'am, you can step down for now.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
I do.
Thank you. Have a seat.
Excuse me, Judge, do you prefer to have a copy of the full exhibit?
Absolutely, because I'm gonna have to review all of these, and if you haven't realized, this is probably getting reset because it's 4:47. I just wanted you to get through
I see.
this witness so that they don't have to come back.
Okay, thank you. Sir. Okay,
You can have a seat, ma'am.
yes. Sir, we will, could Ms. Coates, could you please state your full name for the record?
Everett Coates.
What is your relationship with the City of Lansing Code Enforcement Office?
I'm a code enforcement officer.
Okay. As an inspection officer, your duty including what?
Ensuring the health, safety, and welfare of the residents in the city of Lansing.
Do you inspect house, right?
I do.
Okay. How long have you been doing this kind of work?
I've been with the city since June 2018.
Okay. Now, before you, now before you is an exhibit marked as plaintiff's exhibit 7 for identification purpose. Do you have the exhibit in front of you?
I do have the exhibit in front of me.
Okay. Can you identify that document in page 23A of exhibit 7?
23A.
Yes.
I've got exhibit 723.
And you look back of the page.
All right, there's 23A.
Okay. It's the grace and width correction notice issued by the City of Lansing to the landlord for the property located on 1407 West Willow Street, Lansing. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. It is the standard form issued by the Department of Enforcement whenever that kind of violation occurred. Is that correct?
This is your typical grass notice.
Okay, thank you. The document shows that the property was in violation because the grace and width of the entire yard was longer than 8 inch maximum, the 8-inch maximum allowed length. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, the document also indicates the violation date to be September the 3rd, 2024. And the compliance due date was should be September the 10th, 2024. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Your Honor, we would like to move for admission of plaintiff's exhibit 8, page 35.
Any objection?
No, ma'am.
It's admitted.
Next, I would like to direct your attention to exhibit marked as plaintiff's exhibit 7, page 25 to 27 for identification purpose. Could you please identify the document for the court?
This is a lack of required utilities notice.
Okay. The document shows that a case relating to the excuse me, just one moment. Okay, so that document was issued by who?
This would be by me. I had written a letter.
Okay. You issued that after you have conducted an inspection on the property?
Yes.
Okay. There's some handwriting on the page. On page 26 of exhibit 7. Was that your handwriting?
No.
No, okay. Could you, did you prepared this document, did you?
I wrote this document.
You wrote this document, okay. So please read to us under section 108, point 1.3. Lack of required utilities to the drilling.
Section 108.1.3, lack of required utilities to the dwelling. The gas service is turned off. The dwelling lacks sanitary heating facilities. My inspector comment, gas meter is pegged closed.
Okay. And also before that, section 305. Could you please read to the court what is written there?
Section 305, animal feces on floor and basement. All areas are to be cleaned up and sanitized with bleach.
Okay. Now let's turn to page 25 of exhibit 7, the page before that. Would you also tell the court about the section 305 that you wrote?
For the balcony,
Yes.
there was animal feces on the balcony.
Okay. And could you please also read section 308.1?
Accumulation of trash, debris in basement.
Thank you very much.
All those things are correct, but why aren't we talking about any of the repairs that weren't done?
That's your case. You get to present
Okay,
your case after
okay,
them.
okay, okay.
But yes, you're gonna have to come back.
I
another
know,
day
that's
to do
fine. No,
that.
that's fine. I just, okay, that's
Okay.
totally.
So Judge, we would like to move for admission of plaintiff's exhibit 7, page 25 to 27.
Any objection?
No, ma'am.
You're admitted.
Now, Mr. Coates, can you please turn to exhibit 7, page 28, and identify that document? Yes.
That is a red tag. It notifies that the dwelling is unsafe to occupy.
And who issued it and posted on the front door of the premise?
I issued it.
Correct. Your Honor, we would like to move for admission of plaintiff's exhibit 7, page 28.
Objection.
No, ma'am. Okay, lastly, Mr. Coates, I would like to direct your attention to exhibit marked as plaintiff's exhibit 7, page 29, for identification purpose. Oh, 29. Yes. You have the document in front of you.
Yes.
Okay, can you identify that document for the board?
It's a certificate of compliance for rental dwelling. It's a rental cert.
It is the standard form issued by the Department of Enforcement, right?
Yes.
So the issuance of that certificate shows that the rental property specified there, what is or have been in compliance with all applied laws and regulations. Is that right?
Correct.
And what day was that?
That was September 29th, 2023.
And the validity of that document until
Yes.
what date? Please?
Oh, when it expires?
Mhm.
That would be 3/1/2026.
Thank you, sir. Okay. So, Your Honor, can we move for admission of plaintiff's exhibit 7, page 29?
Any objection?
No, ma'am.
It's admitted.
Okay, with that, Your Honor, we would like to now pass the plaintiff's witness, Mr. Coast.
Do you have any questions for him?
My only question is, the day that you came and inspected, you did also make the comment that most of the repairs that were on the paper were still the repairs from when I first moved to the residence, correct? Or do you not?
When did you first move into the residence?
I moved into the residence in July of 2022, I believe. 2021. My son's gonna be 4, so
Is it 2021 or 2022?
I believe it's 2022.
It's on the list.
I don't quite remember.
Okay. That's okay. I'm gonna come and get it.
I've got 5,600 units.
No, that,
in
I
my
mean,
area.
I figured, but I just remember us having that conversation because you were like, hey, most of these repairs are the same things when I first came out and originally inspected your property.
From the rental inspection?
Yeah.
Yes. The letters were similar, yes.
Okay. That's the only question that I have.
Okay, so your testimony is the letters from the rental inspection that note what the issues are was similar to the last
The
inspection?
safety inspection, yes, Your Honor.
So basically, pretty much things weren't fixed.
Is that a question?
No, not a question. That's
Okay.
just my. I already,
Any other questions for this witness?
no, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank
Next
you.
witness speaks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're there. Thank you.
Did you get all of your exhibits done with her yet?
No, I still have some more questions for her. May I?
How much more time?
Oh, just one more.
Okay, that's fine. She can be
Okay,
recalled.
Mr. Could you please?
You're still under oath, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Just for summarize where we were with this case, the relief we're seeking from the court on behalf of Rental LLC is a judgment against Ms. Kenny for possession of the property and money judgment. Is that right? Just to summarize where we are with this case, the relief, what we're seeking to get from the judge or from the court, the relief we're seeking from the court on behalf of Lucky Rental LLC is a money judgment for the landlord. So the landlord can acquire possession of the property and acquire the damages. Is that correct?
Yes.
Just to be clear, could you please state the full address of the property to the record?
1407 West Willow Street, Lansing, Michigan, 48911.
So in addition to seek possession of the property, you're also seeking to recover judgment for the unpaid past rent and the late fee from January 2024 to December 2024. Is that right? And based on your testimony, the pure rent component of the rental charge was $1,250 per month. So the rent claimed as of November 2024 will be totaled 9,800, and that is part of the judgment you are seeking. Is that right? You are also seeking to recover the $50 per month late fee for January to November 2025. 24, which totaled 550. In addition, you're seeking to recover any court costs Lucky Rental LLC has incurred in prosecuting this eviction case. Is that right? You're also seeking to recover repair costs and damages incurred as a result of this tenant's conduct or non-conduct. Is that right? And the company hired the legal counsel, me, to assist in this proceeding, and so therefore also seeking to recover the attorney's fee. Is that right? With that, Your Honor, we will pass the plaintiff's witness.
Do you have any questions for this witness?
No.
Okay, I'm going to adjourn for today, but I do want this witness to return on the next court date. You have any other witnesses, Ms. Pai? Or
No,
okay,
that's it.
so when we come back, you'll be able to present your defense and
Okay.
call any witnesses that you need subpoena. If you need anybody subpoena, you will let the court know, okay?
Okay.
And you bring your evidence and your pictures at that time.
Okay, that's perfect.
Okay, and then this witness will return because I may have questions. I have not had an opportunity to review the exhibits. Thank you. Okay, let me get you the next court date.
December 19th at 1:30.
December 19th at 1:30. Have any questions for today?
I don't.
Any additional matters? Okay, you're all set. Thank you.
This you mine or yours?
Thank you. Appreciate it. I believe you also have a copy of it, so.
I do have a copy.